Hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody, to this year's tax statements in Tithely webinar. I'm going to go ahead and give it some time to let people join. But as you're hopping in here, maybe go ahead and drop in the chat maybe where you're tuning in from. And for those of you online watching maybe the recording, we'll feel your presence from there. But we're excited to be hosting this webinar for you guys. We did have tons and tons of registrations, which is super cool and obvious that tax season is stressful for everyone. So we're hoping that throughout this webinar that you guys just learn the basics, like the straightforward basic information of how to run your tax statements, and just to kind of get you in that mindset of prepping for tax season, because every single year it feels like it rolls up really quickly on a lot of churches and they're like, oh gosh, what do I do? So we're hoping that this gives you the basic information you need to run your tax statements and feel prepared for that season, so that you can focus on other things that may be more important. But I see lots of chats coming in here from all over. I don't know if you can even see these, Deanna, but we've got people in South Carolina and Florida, Kentucky, Georgia, lots of East Coast people. South Carolina, Oregon. Look at this. We've got someone tuning in from Canada, Texas, another Canada. Well, welcome in, you guys. Like I said, this is just repeating for those who may be just joining us now, our tax statements webinar. We're going to be going over the basics of how to run your tax statements in Tithely so that you feel best prepared for that season. But looks like there's a good amount of us in here, so I'm going to go ahead and jump straight in and start getting through some of these slides. But first things first, more of a rhetorical question, or maybe you can answer it in the chat if you want. But more just to get us in the mindset of things to prepare, especially for tax season. So if you could instantly delete one recurring admin task, what would it be? Again, this could be a rhetorical question. You can answer in the chat if you want. But I know a lot of you would probably answer the tax season. It's a recurring task. You have to do it every year, and it can be super stressful. So again, we'll just reiterate throughout this whole thing that our goal here is to make it easy for you and make it seamless, that process. So let's go ahead, and I'll clarify as well. You're welcome to stay active in the chat, talk to each other throughout the chat. I'll be, or throughout this webinar, I'll be talking in there as well. So if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. However, the most convenient way for us in these webinars is if you actually use the Q&A feature. So what we'll do at the end of the webinar, once we've gone through all the content, is we'll circle back to questions that were submitted to our Q&A channel, or that section. So if you have questions, please feel free to drop them there, and we'll circle back to it at the end. We just want to make sure we get through all the content first before focusing on that questions. But ask away, and if Deanna and I can't answer them, we'll find someone who can. So we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name is Mariah, of course. I am a part of our education specialist team, so creating all of the training content, so all of the help articles, these webinars, any of the training content that you see that kind of helps you learn the product. I'm a part of the team that helps create that. And so I've been with Tithely for almost 3 years now, started in our support team and have kind of moved through what feels like several teams since then. So I've kind of had a hand in a lot of places in Tithely. But yeah, the big passion for me working as an education specialist is I just enjoy that proactive step of helping you guys learn the product before you get frustrated and don't know what to do. So I want to create content. Our team wants to create content for you to be able to, go to the help center, find what you need, and get what you need done quickly, so that you can focus on your church, organization, other things that maybe you don't want to be spending a ton of time like trying to figure out within our product. So that's what I do. But Deanna, if you want to give a little intro about yourself, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, my name is Deanna. I am a customer support advocate here. So I am part of the team that's the front line when you reach out, maybe out of frustration, maybe there's an error or a bug going on. I get to serve y'all every day in helping find quick resolutions, helpful tips and tricks, and then of course connecting you to Mariah's education as well. So that's something I love getting to do. I know tax season's coming up, and so I just want to stress so much that before you get to that section of just frustration and just overwhelm, reach out to us. Support us here to help every step of the way. We love it, and that's why that's the focus of this entire team. So that's coming from someone that's a part of that front line. Reach out to us. We want to help.
Yes, absolutely. And sound off in the chat for support, guys. Support is literally what makes Tithely go round. They're the ones that are there helping you guys with all of your technical questions. So show some love in the chat for support. I know that, anyone who's been a part of Tithely for any amount of time recognizes the value that they have. So big shout out to support and Deanna especially. But before we jump into the actual content of what we'll be covering, I do want to highlight that we have a full suite of products, an ecosystem really of products that were created to put everything you need in one spot. And so a lot of you who are joining us may only have like Tithely Giving. Or maybe only have Tithely Giving and Text to Give, but Tithely offers so many other products that that you're able to use all together in one place that make serving your church, your organization easy. So I just want to highlight that there's more beyond just Tithely Giving. And Rebecca, I see you in the chat just to address your question. Tomorrow we'll actually be doing a Breeze webinar to cover all of Breeze tax statements. So we will be covering that, but this one is specific to Tithely Giving. So I will go ahead and pass it over to Deanna for her to take some of the like the main portion when we're going to be talking about the actual tax statements and then getting into some demos. So I will let Deanna take it away.
Yeah, before we really dive into kind of the nitty gritty of it, I want to just notate some of like the planning ahead, the critical dates. And so obviously in the US IRS, we're about to go into crunch time. January 31st is when any contribution over $250, we want to have sent to those statements out to our donors. Canada is going to be February 28th, and then Australia, best practice is June 30th. So you're here today. We know that you're already focused on moving forward and getting this done just as seamlessly and smooth as possible. And so with that, Mariah already hit on it, but today we are covering Tithely tax statements, specifically in like the 2.0. And so if you use Breeze or Avanto as like really your end all be all record keeper, so if you use Breeze or Avanto and you have like the integration that sends Tithely Giving over to them, you most likely would want to use that system to run your tax statements because it would have all of it combined for you. This is where if Tithely is your end all be all of your giving data is within Tithely. This is where you would want to run your tax statements most likely. And we want to show you how to do it just quick and easy. So moving on, now is the primary time that we love for admins to start focusing on this, on sending tax statements. And so we encourage everyone not to send your tax statements until January 18th. So we've got about a month now that we can really focus on doing work in the background to make sure that when it comes time for you to actually hit that generate an email or print, that you have that confidence, you know exactly the steps to take and what to do. And so with that, before January 18th, we want to first make sure that all of our donor profiles are accurate and up to date. And then if you're using households, we also want to go into households, make sure that we have those set up how we want with each and every family member, and then how it would go out in communication. The third one is we want to make sure all of our funds are marked as tax deductible. This is a really big one I see every year when tax statements runs around of missing donations. It most likely has to do with this fund. So we really want to double check those in the next month before we run our official tax statements. And then the fourth thing I always like to recommend, any advocate would tell you, do a trial run. Don't send them out to your donors, but just so you have that peace of mind of what steps to walk through, it really just, it gives you so much confidence, and I think will make January 18th or any time later in the month that you run those just so much more just smooth. So this is actually where I'm going to jump into my demo. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you. So this, as you know, is just your Tithely home screen. And so I am using a test church. So we are Church of the Awesome. Do not worry about any of the data information you see here. It is not real. We are not violating anyone's security or privacy. And so we're going to jump into giving. And actually, I'm going to backtrack. I want to jump into people. And so the first step I told you that I really think is beneficial to walk through in this time leading up to generating your official tax statements is your people information. Again, test data. So this is going to be a little bit messier, test account, a little bit messier than what you'll see on your side. But it gives me the opportunity to show you a lot of examples. And so the first thing I want to do is if you want to mail your tax statements out, you'll want to make sure that you come in and let's just pick a random person. Come in, you can edit their information and you can include their mailing address, any information you want to have. This is where you would change their mailing address. I bring this up because your donors don't have the opportunity to add the address on their donor profile. And so this is something you would do as the church admin to make sure that if you're sending them out through the mail, that they are going to their active and correct address. And so that's why I bring this up. And so just to kind of walk through those steps a little bit slower, you're going to just click on, I actually think I have a profile in here already. So we'll just say, I want to update my address. We're going to click into my name. Once you click on the row, it pops up just here on the right. And I'm going to click this little gear icon and then click edit. This is where I can come in if I need to update an email. I know most of you are probably already familiar with this, but I always like to just stress that donors cannot update their address on their end. So this is something that's really helpful for y'all to be able to just click in here, make any adjustments needed, and then always scroll to the bottom and click Save Changes. I myself am known to forget to do this. So just make sure you go down, click that green Save Changes, and then it will reflect on their profile. So since we're already here, I've already looked at myself. The next thing I want to show you within people, it's probably the biggest thing I want to stress before you run your tax statements is to come in here and to make sure you're merging profiles. So as you can see, I have 3. So this could have happened because each of these emails are different. So I donated to the Church of the Awesome, but I used 3 different emails when I did it. Tithely's never going to assume that it's the same person. And so it creates different people profiles. So with that being said, as the church admin, you get the fun kind of task of coming in and merging these together. As you know, I have a pretty common last name, Johnson. And so thankfully within this church, we don't have too many of those, but your church could have quite a few. So take time, go through your records, make sure they're accurate. And so I want to show you using the merge profile. So first I'm just going to click, is this like stack of papers? I'm sure there's a actual name for it, but I don't know it off the top of my head. So you'll click this merge duplicate options, and it's going to pull up all of the merge options within your Tithely account. And so I'm going to scroll down and find mine, and I'm going to backtrack in just a second for a reason. But you'll see test 12 has 2, Adam Berry has 3. Let's locate me. And if you remember from the last screen, I had 3 different profiles, but only 2 are populating here. So this is something I see that happens a lot as well during tax statements. It's like, hey, I don't understand. I ran my statements, but there's 2 for Deanna Johnson. But if we go back, one of them I used like maiden name and married name. And so when you click this merge duplicates option, it is only going to pull up the profiles that their first and last name matches 100%. And so I can show you right now we have 2. If I go back into people, I'm going to go ahead and say, oh, well, in the system, and you can always like do a middle name if you want to keep record of that. So I'll just do that just to give you guys peace of mind. Scroll down, click save. So I've updated it to 3. So now when I click merge, we'll find me again. I have 3. So I just want to stress that is based on the first and last name. Any different character, anything like that will kind of upset it. And so if you're looking to make sure all of your duplicates are combined, make sure the first and last name is the same. So then what I want to do is show you how to merge those duplicates. So we'll click into my profile. It's going to tell you to select a primary contact. And so this is where you're going to pick the email that's kind of their dominant one. So say I had given most of my donations through this DG Martin, but I just had one off, accidentally gave with different emails and just didn't recognize it. So we'll say, okay, this is Deanna's primary one. We will select it and we'll click merge. It's that easy. So really the part that you want to do in the next month is just to make sure your donor information is correct. So all people, I'll clear this out. You'll see it just shows me once now, and I actually will show you that. So it has I'll hit edit so we can see it. It has my email in here, and then oh, this is something I want to talk about. And so it's merged it all into this one profile. One thing I do want to note, I do not recommend deleting a person. So how I had those 3 different profiles, I don't, during this close to tax season, we really do not recommend you delete a person. And we say this because there's still records tied to their email address. And so if you delete their profile, let's go to test 12. So there's 2. There was 2. Let's find a duplicate. Sorry, guys. Well, hang on. Here we go. Let's go to Frank Berry. So if we go into Frank, if instead of merging Frank through the merge duplicates, you say, oh, this one doesn't have an email, and you go in and you delete it, that they will still get a tax statement, but it will be separate. And so if you're wanting to have combined statements, it's like really clean, everything's organized well, we really stress using this merge duplicate, not to use the delete option. The delete option, it's there, but just for accurate record keeping, I would say maybe just forget it's there for a little bit and just really focus on merge. And again, changing the first and last name, it'll bring everything up so that you can merge those together. And when you run tax statements, while we're in people, I want to talk about households. I don't think we have households. Oh, we do. We do have households set up here. And so what I want to show within households, I actually had this question this week. So when you set up your household, you get to set up their name. So I'll click edit here so you can see it. All I did, I was in people, I clicked households, and then it popped up. I'm going to click this first one, Barry, and I'm going to click edit. It's just the gear icon. So I bring up this household name because right now it just says Barry. And so when you go to send your tax statements, it will say, hi, Adam Barry and Adam Joseph Barry within the tax statement, but the body of the email will address it as hi, Barry. And so I like to say, I want to bring this up, and I always tell anyone, if you're wanting it to be a little bit more personalized, this is where you could say Barry family. Or, I've seen a lot of people do like the Berry family. But this is what is going to be the address, like how they're addressed in the email when their tax statement goes out. So if you're not emailing, don't worry about it. But if you are, this is what is going to be within the email itself. Click Save Changes, all as well. But these are your households. So you can come in here, you can add members to households. So say it's myself, my husband, and then we also have like a teenager that's donating. We can add all of those members into our, let's say test 12 is a part of the family. We'll add it in here so that if we want to run by household, all 3 of these profiles, any giving for them is combined into that household statement. And you just saw how quick that was. So I literally just searched their name. So I think we have a test 13 too. And you click it and it adds it into the household. Say you need to remove them, you click it and you click remove. It's very easy, very straightforward. This one's pretty quick to manage and do. And running by households is honestly really great, especially if you know your donors prefer the household statement because they do their taxes together, things of that nature. Households is really quick and easy. So I'm trying to think if there's anything within people I'm forgetting to cover. If there's a question you have within people, send that message in the Q&A and we can circle back to it. But I'm going to actually jump into the tax statements now. But again, those first 2 things that I say to focus on in this next month is updating your people information, make sure it's accurate, and you've merged all of your duplicates, and then focus on households if you want to share your giving statements by households. And actually my 3rd step is funds. So when we click into giving, we are going to click fund management. So it's about midway through the left-hand side. And you'll see we have multiple funds that our donors can give to, which most churches do. All of ours are clicked as tax deductible. There's going to be some that automatically aren't. Off the top of my head, the only one I can think of is like an event. If you were selling event tickets, those wouldn't be tax deductible. But if you had a fund in here, say building fund was not selected as yes, you would see within tax statements there's an X. And so if I go to run statements, say I had donors that have been giving to this building fund all year, and they reach out to you and they're like, hey, Deanna, I don't understand. All of my donations aren't on my tax statement. That's where you're like, oh, okay, let's see what we're missing. You can always pull up and say, oh, it's your building funds. Check your fund itself. If it's not tax deductible, all you have to do is click it is tax deductible, save those changes. We love the green save button. And then you would rerun your tax statements. And we'll walk through that in just a second. So this is a really quick and easy one to review. But if you review it ahead of time and you know that all of your funds that need to be tax deductible are, then you'll avoid any confusion with missing donations on donor ends just because of a simple yes and no. So I think that's based on, yes, that's my third check. And so the fourth one is to do a test tax statement. And so we'll jump into that today. I've already run some that I'll show in just a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to generate. So I'm going to go from the home screen just so we have complete, just a complete flow of what to do. So if you'll click into giving, and then we are going to click tax statements, which is the fifth option on the left. And so it's going to pull it up. It's going to have a generate in a previous. So if you did previous tax statements, you'll see we've got some from 2023, 2024. We've got several in here that we can always click into. But today I want to run my 2025s. And so you'll click generate. Under select year, you're going to click 2025. And then locations. So if you want to run all of your locations, if you have multiple, you can run all of them at the same time. Or if you have like 2 or 3 and you just want to do them location at a time, you can do each location individually. I do also want to note, we get asked quite often when it comes to tax statements, well, I want to do them quarterly. I want to do them biannually. So you can do that. You'll see there's the year option and you can go back as far as your data needs, but there is also custom range. So if you don't want to run the full year, you can just say, okay, well, I've already ran everything. I want to run just October through the end of December. All locations, you can generate that. But I know most of us are going to do our year-end tax statements to give like the full combined. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So generate, you're going to select your year, select your locations, and then you click the green generate statements button. So this is going to bring you up to the get started, like how do you want to configure your tax statements? So I talked about this briefly in People. You can send them individually where every donor gets their individual personal tax statement. Or you can send them by household where I had put, Adam was there. We put test there, test 12, test 13. So this household would be if you set those up, husband, wife, if they have a couple kids, if a family's living together, any kind of household, however it's decided, however you have it configured in People, households will, it'll generate for you. So it's all together in one statement for the entire household. So I'm going to do it as individual today. And then down here, you get to hide the memo. If you had the memo line and you want to hide those descriptions, you can turn it on or off. And then you'll choose your time zone. So I am in the Chicago time zone, so I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to click continue to cover letter details. So before I dive into each and every one of these boxes, what I want to share with you is that the cover letter is customizable through these boxes. I have churches that ask all the time, hey, I want to do this. Can we move this? Can we do this? The format of the cover letter is just kind of set by the system, but the information within it is customizable by you. And so this is where you'll come in. You get to do your cover letter title. So I'm going to do tax statements 2025, Church of the Awesome. And let's just add, there we go. That looks better to me. This is your cover letter disclaimer. So this is where you can go in. I see churches that they put like a thank you so much for donating to our church this year. You can use just kind of a more generic one. Really, you get to decide what this looks like. If it's left empty, the default disclaimer from your country will be added. So a lot of times people will add the disclaimer, like I said, at the bottom, and at the top, they'll say like, thank you for donating. We appreciate your support, so on and so forth. And then you'd want to add the disclaimer at the bottom to make sure that it's there on your tax statement, but you can always add a little bit if you want for your donors. That's something churches always like to do to give it kind of that personal touch. But again, if left empty, the default disclaimer. So I'll leave it empty just so you can see what that default disclaimer looks like. Church name, I'm going to change it to Church of the Awesome. And then you put your tax ID in. Church of the Awesome doesn't have one, so we're going to go with the standard 1 through 9. And then your address. So 1, 2, 3. And let's do this. And administrator title. We're going to do admin. There we go. This is where you upload your administrator signature. So we have one uploaded already. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete it. This is what it'll look like when you first come in here. So there is a signature on the tax statement, but you actually will sign it separate from Tithely, take a picture of it, like save it to your desktop, and then you can come in here, you can click upload. It'll bring up like your pictures. I'm scared to see. Here we go. Maybe I have something random. Here we go. Perfect. Open. So then it's uploaded. You can see it right there. And so it's really easy, but you do not sign directly through Tithely. You sign separately. You take a picture of it. You save it to your desktop. And so now I'm going to click generate. When I click generate, you're going to get this pop-up. It can take time. I want to stress this, especially if you're going to run them on the 18th. A lot of churches are going to be running them that day. And so Tithely, the system itself, is going to be doing a lot of behind the scenes work. And so when you generate your tax statements, it's not likely you're going to get them immediately. That's okay. That's expected. And that's what this screen is for. So this is just to say, hey, do you want to receive an email when they're ready? So you don't have to sit there, keep checking back. You can just add your email in here and say, yes, send me these. And then whenever they're ready, they'll send them your way. So I'm back to the home screen of tax statements. You can see in previous, I have some that are being generated right now, and it's going to email me, or bless his heart, Adam Berry, and let him know when my tax statements are ready. But I have actually pulled some previous ones so that while that was generating, we could look at a couple as well. And so I'm going to click into something that I've already, let me see, I ran one as households and I ran one as, okay, let's do this one. So all I did was just click straight into the statement itself. So January 1st through December 31st, you click on the square and it's going to pull up all the information. So this is the home screen of your generated tax statements. So this is where you can come in. You can see, okay, Haley has one, Ira has one, God gives good gifts, da 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 da. Well, so you're like, okay, is Haley 123 the same as Haley Schultz? Oh, I may have missed this merge. That's okay. We can fix it. You have a merge option here. You actually have a delete option as well. So I'm going to click the merge first. It's going to pop you right back into people merge. And so if you know, well, I just saw Haley was 123 and the other one is Haley Schultz. Let's go back to their profile. So I'll just type in Haley. There's our Haley Schultz. I don't see our Haley 123, which means it was probably deleted. So this is a primary example of why we don't love the delete option, because I can't actually merge her tax statements together. She's going to get two no matter what. But let me get back into our statements. Oh, here we go. Okay, so because we deleted Haley 123, Haley is just going to get two. And you can see she even has the same email in here. So it was just likely at some point she accidentally had a different email. We edited it and we deleted it. And so Haley's going to get two, but thankfully this is a test account, so it's okay. And you guys are here, and now you got to see firsthand why we just don't love delete, we love merge. But it'll pop you right back into people when you click merge. What I also want to note is when you pull up here, if you're wanting to email all of your statements, you'll see on this right-hand side, there's a little like a paper airplane or a print. So this is individual for each line you're on. But if you go look at my third one, there's no email here. So the system can't email this out for them. So you can actually click in here and you can add the email. So God gives good gifts .llc. Let's do that. Perfect. So we just did that. I'm going to click close and you'll see it automatically updates right here on the tax statement screen, and I can send it. And I'm 92% sure it updates in people as well. Let's make sure. God gives. I'm learning something alongside y'all today. Yes, it does automatically update it in people. 100% sure of it now. So getting back into our tax statement, sorry to be toggling back and forth. You can go through, you can click each one of these, no email, and you can add them this way. I have seen, last year I saw this, where someone wanted, they had a ton of tax statements. In my case, 6 isn't bad, and updating 2 emails is pretty easy. But they wanted just kind of a combined list of, hey, who doesn't have an email that I need to get in touch with? If you click email all, it's going to say, what do we do with these missing emails? You have one donor without an email on file. Do you want to enter a new email or do you want to print it? And so I had a church admin that said add email addresses for the donor. And so it pops up, it's for new person. Then you're like, oh, hey, new person, what is your email address? You get it, you pop it in. The reason I'm saying this is because, and I'm going to backtrack it so you saw, I clicked email all. And so I'm telling Tithely, I'm telling tax statements, hey, email all of these. So even though it has kind of a segue in the middle to add this email address, if you click continue and when you do, it sends them. You're not going to get another confirmation page. I've had this happen where admins are like, oh no, I just wanted to see which emails I needed. I didn't know I actually sent them, but you told the system, hey, email all of these. And so it believed you and it did it. So I always like to say that, especially because you're running test ones, hopefully, before January 18th. I just don't recommend going about it that way. If you have 200 that are missing an email and you want to, go right ahead. You can, but you have to use the back button. You have to click back right here because if you click this continue, you're sending them to all of your donors. And in that case, that's where you just get to say, so sorry about that. Wasn't ready to send those, disregard. I know that your church members won't mind, but I want to bring it up because it's a lesson I learned last year. And so hopefully I can save just a little bit of headache through it. So when you click email all though, because you're ready to send them out, you'll click email all. You can decide I want to print these for my donors or I want to add the email address. We've already saw what it looks like if I click add email. So I'm going to click print statements for donors without emails. So by clicking that, great. We emailed 5, we generated 1. And so this is where you have the green print 1 statement. Go in here, it's going to pop it up and it already has it's ready to go. I'm going to click cancel really quick. And this is the format of what I previously generated. I will toggle back in just a few minutes to what we're currently running so you can see the changes that I made. But this is going to have your ministry name, your address, the name of the person itself, if they had within their people profile, if they had an address on file, it would be listed here as well. But it's going to say, hey, this is Haley Test Church 2025. Hi, new person. And then it's going to go through and generate all of their information. You see they gave $5. Here's their receipt, when it was issued, what fund or organization it was given to, tax ID, and then the giving period. So this you print off, they have it, they can give it to their tax accountant and they're good to go. And so we'll click exit there. Trying to think if there's anything more on this screen. I want to toggle back and see if the ones we ran are currently there. So let's close this really quick. They are ready. So I'm going to click the ones that we ran together because you'll see some of the changes that I made from what we just did a preview of. So I'm going to just go ahead and, oh, this is one thing I do want to note before I jump in there. After you email all or print all, if say a donor is like, oh no, this is missing, or can you actually, merge and do my family or whatever the question may be that you need to send them another one, you have the option to send just to Haley 123. You click this little arrow, sent to Haley 123, send now, done. And so you can send individually to donors if needed. Say if they're like, oh, I didn't get it, here's an updated email address. You can come in here, you can update their email, say it wasn't Yahoo, it's Gmail. We saved that. I don't want to resend to everyone, so I'm just going to click send. Yes, let's send it. Send now. Done. And then, of course, you can come in and print individual ones if someone maybe misplaces theirs. I know I have certainly done this before. Bless my church admin's heart. And they've had to print me a new one. But what I want to do now is jump into what we ran together. And so I'm going to look at that through printing. We're going to hit print. And so we formatted these together. And so I'm going to click cancel here. So Church of the Awesome, 123 Awesome Lane. You guys saw me enter this in. Haley 123 is the name of the donor. And this is that title that I entered in. Tax Statements 2025, Church of the Awesome. And so it's going to say, hi, Haley 123. And this is the disclaimer for the Chicago time zone of what is automatically put in. So it says, this is the official receipt for income tax statements. Please retain one copy for your records. For income tax purposes, it is important for us to state here that you did not receive any goods or services in return for these contributions other than intangible benefits. You made these gifts out of your own generosity. So I think just this system, tax statement cover letter option is even fantastic. But you can, again, like I said, if you want to add something special in there to really personalize it, you can. Just make sure that you always state something about the tax statement body itself, that this is for tax purposes, you didn't receive goods and services, so on. So here's my picture you saw me upload. This is what I used as an example of your signature. So that's where you'll see your signature would be there because you took a picture of it, you saved it on your desktop, and you uploaded it. And then it's going to list your name beneath them. And I said, I'm an admin. So had I said, Deanna, and I put my last name, Johnson, and then maybe I put, youth pastor. Those are all of these, like I said, customizable. We can't change the format of it, but you can change what's inside each of the boxes to send to your church. And then it's just going to tell Haley123, you've given $33, Church of the Awesome, date range. It went to general offering, so on and so forth. And so you can print these, send them her way. What I want to do, which I should have thought to do before now, let's go ahead and show you what an email looks like. So we're going to email this to myself. And we're going to close that. I'm about to wrap up. I'm sorry if I'm taking a little longer than expected. Okay, we're going to send this to Ira, close. I'm going to pull up my email over here just to save you from the immense amount of emails in my inbox. It might take a second to come in. Obviously, it's formatting that and it's going to email over. I'm going to see if I can push it through because, again, the system it's working. It's doing its thing. But while we're doing that, the last thing I want to cover, if you need to search for your tax statements, you can do it right in here. If you have a donor that's like, hey, and again, you have hundreds, thousands of people, jump in here, just type in Haley. And it'll format those. It's a lot like transactions, and then you can do the date range as well. So tax statements itself, it's all really housed within this section. Again, you can email all, you can print all, or you can do individuals. If you need to delete one, you can delete one. Say, oh, this was actually the church admin. They don't need one, or it's, I don't really know why you delete one, honestly, but if you wanted to, you can. No, we want to keep our batch. We're not deleting our batch, keep our batch. But if you wanted to delete the batch, you can. I don't know why you'd want to, but if you make changes as well, say someone comes in and they change, you have to change the fund. You forgot that a fund wasn't tax deductible. You can click regenerate tax statements right here at the bottom. And it's just going to pop you in like, hey, is this still what we want it to say? And you'd click regenerate tax statements. It would do it automatically. Same option. Do you want me to email you? Or you can just go through the same steps again and fill it all out. But if you hit regenerate, it's going to save what you've picked. And so the last thing I want to show, I just got the email. So let's open it up. Okay. Pull this over for y'all. So this is my email. So your January 1st through December 31st tax statement from Church of the Awesome. And then it's from Church of the Awesome to me. And then it's going to say, hi, this is the body of the email that we saw on the printed as well. It's going to put the date range. Please review statement. Let us know if you have any questions or concern. We recommend consulting tax professionals. Tithely is not a tax professional. I want to also say that we get a lot of questions about taxes and what you need for it. We don't know. And so we don't want to tell you because it very well would probably be wrong. We are not tax professionals. Definitely talk to your accountant, your tax professional. If you need changes made to your donations, your church admin, you would be who would do that. And so we'll just go down. I sent it twice, so you'll see here both are, but you just click it and it looks identical to what we saw in the system itself. So they would print this off, take it to their tax accountant, and they would have everything that they need to get credit for their donations. So I really think that's everything that I have today that I can think of. I'm sure you guys will have, oh, I lost our screen, sorry. You can look at my rolling hills. If you have any additional questions, that's not it either. Oh, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Let us know and we'll dive back into those sections. But I have one more slide I want to just go over with y'all. And it's just a summary of really what we just covered. So end of year tax statements for all givers. So generate no earlier than January 18th. I guess I should probably explain why we say this. And so a lot of members give at your Christmas Eve services. I know like my church sometimes does like a New Year's Eve celebration, and then there's an offering there as well. So say I give to my church on New Year's Eve. So it's the last day of the year and it's 11:30 p.m. my time. If I were to run the tax statements on January 5th, my donation may not have finished processing. And so if it wasn't successful and actually given to the church, it wouldn't be included on my tax statement. And so that's why we stress waiting until the 18th or later. That way you can ensure that all of the donations have processed, they're fully completed, and they would be on individuals' tax statements. And so again, that's a really big one, but that gives us time to work on all of the other tasks I've given you. And so just to recap, you're going to click into giving, you're going to click tax statements. You can choose whether you want to print or email them. You can select your date range, all of 2025, or if, again, we wanted to click to a certain range. Decide if you want to group by family or household within Tithely, and then always preview the statements, do a test, send it straight to you like I did to myself. And then each member will receive their own statement. If you do individual, if you do household, the household will receive their statement. But I think that's everything I have. Thank you guys for walking through that demo with me. And Mariah, I'm going to toss it back to you.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. I know your voice probably hurts. That was so much information, but it was all so helpful. So amazing. Well, yeah. So I will address your guys' questions. Just really quickly want to reiterate that again, we have a whole suite of products that it's not just Tithely Giving. And this kind of will address a couple questions that I saw in the chat. If your interface, the interface that you're looking at when you're in your account looks different to what Deanna was just showing you, you're not crazy. You're absolutely looking at a different interface. It's something different. And so we're just not covering that in today's webinar, but we have tons and tons of resources on that. So if your interface looks different, please reach out to our support team. You can just simply say, hey, I need some resources on tax season, how to prepare with the account that I'm currently looking at. And our team will make sure that they get that information to you. But you're not crazy. We're just not covering that in today's webinar. So just wanted to address that. But for ways to contact us, if you are a new customer, as in you're watching this and you don't even have Tithely yet, or maybe you just signed up and so you're just trying to get all the information you need to best navigate your account, you can reach out to our team at Grow at Tithely. If you're an existing account member, then a lot of you already know the best way to reach our team is through the chat bubble when you're logged into your account. That's going to be on the lower right-hand side of your account, I believe. But that chat bubble is going to get you connected to our support team, and they're best suited to handle technical questions. And then lastly, our help center. Just wanted to highlight, if you are needing extra information, of course, this recording will be sent to everyone who registered after this is done. But if you're looking for like the verbal written steps, I know sometimes people prefer that. You're going to find all of that in our help center. The best kind of most overarching article that covers what we talked about today is going to be the Generating Tax Statements article. And again, that's just found in our Tithely Help Center. Also want to give a highlight to our Tithely University. A lot of people aren't aware that we even have this. Tithely University is a central place where we put all of our broad onboarding videos. They're called onboarding, but it's really for anyone. They give a good overview of each section of Tithely, and that's through giving, and then any of our paid products like Breeze or Avanto or anything that you're paying for outside of just Tithely Giving. All of that can be found in our Tithely University. So recommend checking that out if you haven't already. And now we will go ahead and start addressing some of the questions that we saw in our Q&A channel. First one I'll address because it was just the most recent one. To Sherry. Sherry asks, if someone donated less than $250, can we not send them a statement? To address that question, you can send them a statement. However, it's not required. Like, it's not legally required that you send them a tax statement. But if they've donated over $250, that's when that legality plays a part in this. You have to send them that tax statement. So yes, to answer your question, you can still send them a statement. You don't have to. Awesome. Let's see. I'm going to keep going through these as they're still coming in. Let's
see
see.
one in the chat that I will talk about. Christine just asked, do we send the statements to you and you generate them, or do we generate them yourself? You generate them yourself. So I was masquerading within an account as a church admin. So you'll log into your Tithely account, how you do on the daily, weekly basis, do that giving statement and run through there. So we ourselves actually cannot generate them for you. We cannot provide them for donors for legal reasons. You as the church have to be the one to provide those.
Yes. Yeah. Great call out. And then I see one here from Sandra asking, is there a way to upload our donors' address info from an Excel spreadsheet? Deanna, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure in the people section, there is a way to import. I don't know if it's specific to an Excel spreadsheet, but I know that there is a way that you can import donor information. I do want to highly stress that that is not for giving data. You don't use that people section to import like donors' financial history. You can import like their email address, their name, that kind of stuff.
So sorry, I'm going to pause. I actually don't think you can.
Okay.
Export. You were just thinking backwards. You can export them.
Export them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
so you would have to manually enter those one by one.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry.
Good. No, I appreciate you stopping me and correcting me. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just reading through some of these questions. I know some of them I already addressed throughout the chat. Sherry, if someone donates through Tithely and also by giving cash or check, is there a way to add that information so the amount ends up on the tax statements? Yes. We have a feature called admin batch giving. That's what you would utilize to enter cash and check donations so that they end up on the tax statement year end. Do want to highlight kind of what Deanna really stressed earlier is that if you are entering the donations, make sure that you enter them with the exact same first and last name and email address so that they get that combined statement. It's not the end of the world if they get two, but it's just not ideal. So make sure when you're entering those cash and check information that you enter it with the same details if they've also given online. And Sherry, if you scroll up in the chat just a tiny bit, I did send a link to our help article for that. But if you want to go to our help center, it's just called How to Enter Cash and Check Donations. That would be in our help center.
Here, I'm going to pop in and answer Robin, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Robin asks, is there an indication for admins if the emails were undelivered? So Tithely doesn't have that feature built in. Once you hit email all, we're just going to say that they made it there. If your donor says, hey, this didn't make it, I didn't get it, that's where we can use the individual like airplane icon to send it again. But one thing I like to always tell admins, and I'm glad you asked this question, is go ahead and even if you don't have donations to your church, make like a little test person, make a Deanna admin, do a $1 cash donation. You can delete the cash donation later, but so that you can send yourself a tax statement through email as well. So then you would know, oh, I received it, I have it, and you have that peace of mind that they went through. Obviously, different email domains can have spam and filters and things on. So donors could still run into some errors, but we can help you navigate those and support. If you're like, hey, none of my members got their email, can you help dive into that? Reach out to us. That's what we're here to help.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. And then I did see someone earlier ask about the breakdown between what is tax deductible and what's non-tax deductible. So to address that question, the tax statements is specific to only donations that were made to a tax deductible fund. So you're not going to be able to combine donations that were made to a non-tax deductible fund. They won't be on the same statement. You can certainly go in there and create like a giving summary for that person for all the donations they made to non-tax deductible funds if they just want to see that kind of listed out. But the tax statement section is only specific to donations made to a tax deductible fund. How many times can I say tax deductible fund? So I hope that answers your question. So it's only specific to those funds. If you need to get other information about like donations that were made to non-tax deductible funds, such as purchases that were made at your church, you can do that, but it won't be on the tax statement. Let's see. I
see Wendy's, and I'm sure you'll touch on this later. Wendy asked, will the video be available beyond today? Yes, it will be. And so you can log in. Tithely University has amazing resources, but you can also go back through my very long-winded explanation and find any answers you may need. And again, see the slides.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. And then Bruce, I think for your specific question, it would be best if you reached out to our support team, and that's support@Tithely. I think they would have probably some more information that would be best suited for your question. So please reach out to them and they'll address that. Okay. I think we've covered a majority of them. However, I do really want to stress again that if there's questions that we didn't cover, please reach out to our support team. They'll be there to assist you with any questions that we didn't have a chance to cover today. But as always, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for spending some time here with us this afternoon, just getting some information to best prep for the tax season. And we will see you in the next one. But again, just thank you guys. We appreciate spending time with you. So we'll see you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Bye.